Hi, Terry here, and I am going to show you today what my starter pantry looks like. I have been prepping and stocking up for the last 2 to 3 years on and off. We've had to dig into it a couple of times, but this is what it looks like when you have just been buying a couple of extra things every week and how much food you can actually end up with. I just wanted to show you new preppers out there like me that it is attainable and you can do it just a little bit each week, and how much you can actually get after a year or two of stocking up. So let's get to it.
Okay, so one cabinet is done. So I have 5-gallon containers. They are food grade. So inside them, except for in the sugar, I have oxygen absorbers, and they've been sealed and taped shut for extra precaution. So 5-gallon of egg noodles, 2 of the tricolored noodles, 3 of parboiled rice, 1 of sugar. I have some brown sugar up here. I have to take room where I can get it. A container of cornstarch. Then I have 2 of beans. I have some pinto, black beans, northern beans, baby lima beans, large lima beans, lentils. I just left them in the bags they came in and threw them in these containers. I have water. Oh, it's getting dark in here. So this is probably 2.5 days of water for my family, and obviously I need more water, but I have to find a place to store it. So I think I might be looking into a water filter system. So that is cabinet number 1. So this is cabinet number 2. These things are going to be in my pretty much my regular circulation of food. I just have 2 containers of old-fashioned oats and 2 of the quick oats. The Amish market has some instant chicken noodle soup mix, so I put those in there just to kind of keep them fresher and out of the light and all. And then a container of dried fruit. It's just different packages of different types of dried fruit. And the rest of this cabinet is just you know, some of my pots and pans and things like that, things that I don't use very often. So I don't have a lot of storage. You know, my house is only 1,200 square feet, and this storage is the only storage room we have. So I'm gonna have to try to fit this other box of non-fat dry milk in here as well. It was in here before I took these all out to label them. Just can't remember how it all fit, so I'm gonna try to get that back in there. I still have to go through and write the dates on the outside of these cans, but this is a working pantry. It's my prepper pantry, of course, but food's not going to stay in here very long. Like I've mentioned, I do not have a lot of storage, so I'll come in here first and grab the stuff, and then I'll just replace it as I go. So it's not technically long-term storage on the shelves. It is pretty much a working long-term pantry. So I have some big containers of fruit here in the back, some little ones here in the front. The seasonings you're going to find all throughout the place. These are all vegetables. Here and here are all different types of vegetables. Here behind the cranberry sauces is all the cream soups and cans of cheese sauce. And then I have, this goes all the way back, my Jiffy mixes. And 3 the cup of soup noodles. Have some shells for tacos, macaroni and cheese. I only have 3 boxes of these. I do have to buy more of those. Elbow macaroni. Now there's different types of noodles going all the way back. Garden rotini, bow ties, different things all the way back. These are all the spaghettis. And up here, I bought these for lasagna roll-ups. There's another thing of taco shells and a box of mashed potatoes. There's 2 other boxes of mashed potatoes here. We have 1 container of ramen noodles. We have 2 other containers of, or 2 other packages of ramen noodles in the kitchen in one of the cabinets there. We don't use a lot of mayonnaise. I just bought a couple little ones to keep on hand in case I need them for a recipe. There's 4 boxes of stuffing. I don't like to eat box stuffing, so don't have too many of those. There's, I think, 2 cornbread and 2 chicken. These are all pancake mixes. I believe there are 4 boxes of pancake mixes there. Where are the rest of the seeds? There's a bunch more seeds. This got misplaced. I got to figure out where all my seeds are. Some evaporated milk and condensed milk. I just bought those the other day. There's peanut butter back in there. There's breadcrumbs all the way back in there. And then all my baking type stuff is over here. So back in this corner, I have cooking oil, flour, sugar, what else? There's a container that's got some cornmeal, farina, quinoa, some baking soda back there, some molasses, some extra coffee, and then some of my seasonings. And I have my yeast back there as well. Down here, it's still a little messy. I have one thing of a brownie or chocolate chip muffin mix. This is mostly like where the dried fruits and all are. Back in here, I have a whole bunch of containers of dried fruit and just some beans and stuff that I just recently bought a couple weeks ago. My daughter wanted to try gnocchi, so I bought a thing of that. Here's some more of the Amish soup mixes. They make them, I think they dehydrate them and turn them into a powder of some sort, and they're really, really good. And then I have all my canned proteins. It starts with the corned beef, and then it goes to chicken, and then there's beef in the back. Next to it, there's another beef there. I have the tuna and the fishes. We have mackerel. And behind the mackerel is a bunch of the Campbell's Chunky Meal Soups. And then this is all my tomato products. So the large cans of the tomato sauce. There's diced tomatoes back here, whole tomatoes, just a different variety of those. Some tomato sauces, a bunch of tomato paste. There's diced tomatoes in the way back. And then I have my spaghetti sauces. Well, there goes the ground cinnamon. So I have my applesauce, but these are all spaghetti sauces, some yams in the back there, some more spaghetti sauce hiding there, and then my applesauce. And then I just got a good deal at Ollie's on canned pie filling. They were $2.29 each, and around here, they seem to be $2.99 and up, so I kind of stocked up on those. Here's some more yams. And then all of our jellies. We don't eat a lot of jelly, but I like to keep it on hand. My husband loves the guava jelly, so I got some of the guava paste. So that is it. On the top there is just some odds and ends and tissues, toilet paper, paper towels. I don't use a lot of paper towels. I try to use reusable rags, but we use them mostly for napkins, and plenty of toilet paper. And that container back here, this is something called sorrel. My husband makes something called sorrel tea. Or sorrel wine, I should say. There's sorrel tea, and you can make a sorrel wine. It's like a juice. It's pretty good. You can make it alcoholic and non-alcoholic. But he promised to make it for me, so bought that ages ago, and he still has not made it for me. Okay, so there we go. This is my informal organization. Not too bad. Don't have a lot of space, so you got to kind of make do with what you got. I took an inventory, so at least I know it's out here. That's the most important thing. And it's semi-organized, at least in sections, so if I have to root around for something, I kind of know where it is. And that's it. That's my long-term food storage, my prepper pantry. But it is a working prepper pantry. My house is very, very small. My kitchen doesn't have a lot of cabinet space, so we have to make do with what we got. You know, again, in here are the cabinets underneath that I just showed you. Oops, something fell off. So, you know, the different things. There are cabinets behind me as well, and my freezer. So we have an extra freezer where we keep when I stock up on meats and chickens and stuff. So actually, I just found 2 pounds of sugar behind me, so I got to figure that one out. A little space. There are 5 of us in this house, and there's like next to no closet space. The one bedroom doesn't even have a closet. There's no storage. This storage room is it, and we have to, I forgot about the boxes of cereal. This is all of our cereal storage right here. My pipe cleaners for cleaning my metal straws. You know, and this is where I keep like my papers and different things like that. So this is like an all-purpose storage room. Our Christmas decorations are out here. We have our kerosene heater out here. You know, just this is where we keep everything. This is our choo-choo train for Christmas. I have a humidifier for in the summertime. My house gets very humid. I don't really use a lot of air conditioning, so I forgot about all the cereal over here. There's more in the kitchen as well, so that's just back up. Don't have space. You know, I would like to get those can organizers. I think I could probably utilize my space a little bit better if I had one of those, but not into buying anything right now, so I'm making do with what I got. So this is it. Welcome to my crazy world.
This top shelf here is reserved just for my husband. So these are all of his foods and his snacks and things like that. So we kind of leave this shelf alone, and it is where he keeps his stuff. So that way he knows where it is and we know to leave it alone. Okay, in the corner there next to my aprons, there's a box of graham crackers. I actually have these here because I'm going to be trying out a graham cracker crust recipe for a pie. And then there's 5 boxes of macaroni and cheese and a box of mac and cheese shells. Next to that is canned chicken. I pulled that out of my long-term storage recently to incorporate that into our meals. I'm learning how to cook with that. So I've recently used a couple of cans to make some chicken salad that came out really, really well. So I'll be trying some other things with that. There's 6 boxes of corn muffin mix, 4 boxes of pasta, 3 of the rotini, 1 of the penne, wheat spaghetti, and then just some regular spaghetti. 6 jars of spaghetti sauce, all different types and kinds. And then there's a jar of Alfredo sauce. I'm trying to find an Alfredo sauce that we like. So any suggestions on a good store brand Alfredo are highly welcomed. And then I have 2 jars of browning. My husband uses this a lot when he makes brown stew chicken. And it gives it great color. It makes things taste really, really good. Sometimes he'll use it also when he makes oxtail. So that's that shelf. On this shelf in the back corner here are 5 boxes of cake mix. And then on top of that, I have a box of Festival. Anybody who has been to Jamaica, you might be familiar with the Festival. It's like a fried dough type of thing. I absolutely love them, so I bought that box just to have something quick and easy to make it with. Next to that, I have just some loose things that don't sit well. I have 3 packs of coconut milk powder. I have a pack of chocolate chip muffin mix and 3 packs of blueberry muffin mix, and then there's some packaged servings of the mashed potatoes. There's chocolate chips in here, 2 boxes of banana bread mix, and then just some extra pepperoni for my kids to snack on. Over here, there's a box of stuffing back there, and then I have some cans of the small mini Vienna sausages. We are going to be using those for an hors d'oeuvre night. My daughter requested we have a night of hors d'oeuvres. Since we don't really watch too many sports things, she wants the experience of having a night where, you enjoy different types of hors d'oeuvres. So next to that is au gratin potatoes, a can of nacho cheese sauce. This is going to go with our hors d'oeuvre night. Honey mustard, a jar of honey. I'm starting to stock up on this as well. It's getting very expensive, so I want to have a good supply of honey. There's 1 jar of barbecue sauce. I had more, but we've eaten some of it, so I gotta buy more of that. 2 jars of gravy. I mostly use the powdered gravy. We've been switching to low sodium things, so I just bought powder mix of a low sodium gravy. 3 jars of sweet and sour sauce. I love this sauce. And then this one over here, the orange stir fry sauce. I absolutely love those. And then just a jar of Worcestershire sauce just to have on hand. And I'm trying this Velveeta knockoff to see if the kids like it. So we're trying lots of new things. I think that's part of the whole learning to store or starting to store adventure, because a lot of foods that store long term you might not be familiar with, or if you're like me, you don't eat too much of. So you have to find a way of incorporating that into, your regular or everyday eating. So you're not just storing it, you're actually still eating it at the same time. on this shelf in the corner here, I have 2 cans of like Walmart brand Spam. I'm going to be trying that to see if my family likes it before we start stocking up on it and add it into our long-term storage. I don't want to stock up on it if nobody likes it. There is a bottle of ketchup behind it, and behind that is just a jar of peanut butter. I have 2 cans of corned beef, and behind the corned beef is all tuna fish. 6 cans of cranberry sauce. My daughters love it, so I like to keep enough of that on hand. 3 cans of butter beans. These are my favorite bean. And then 3 cans of pigeon peas. We use these quite often. 2 cans of black beans. I am starting to stock up on canned beans. We mostly use the dry beans and, soak them and cook them. But I'm going to start working on collecting more of these to have on hand for emergencies. And then the Great Northern beans and the chickpeas are on my to try list before I start adding them into our long-term storage. Behind these, on this side, is canned fruit. We do not eat a lot of canned fruit and vegetables, but I do like to have them for emergencies. So this is me just working them into our daily food, so they don't go bad. So those came out of the long-term storage. So just so they don't go bad, we'll be eating those up. And then behind here there's just a can of marinara and 4 cans of diced tomatoes. These are all my cream soups. I have 8 cans of the cream of chicken, 5 cans of the cream of mushroom, and these are all soups. There is 5 cans of chunky Campbell's, different kinds, chicken noodles, sirloin steak burger, and a beef stew. I like to keep these on hand, not only for long-term storage, but they're great for quick meals. They're great for if my son wants to heat one up and put it in a thermos and bring it to school for lunch. Okay, so the bottom shelf here, it used to be where I kept miscellaneous medical supplies and my ironing supplies. So these heating pads over here are going to be relocated to a couple of the bedrooms to help warm up the beds at night when it's really cold. And I'm going to find a new home for the nebulizer. We don't use that often anymore, but I still want to keep it on hand, but it's got to find a new home. And my cold press, hot cold compress, I got to find another place for that as well. So just some extra snack food. There's some cheese crackers here, some Pop-Tarts. There's my Dove soap. The 2 cans of evaporated milk. I'm just stocking up on these, and a can of crushed tomatoes. My iron is back there and some starch, so this shelf is still a work.
So this is me being creative with space. I had a couple of old end tables that had belonged to my mother, and instead of getting rid of them, I stacked them in this unusable corner of my kitchen, and it's worked out great so far. I just kind of keep some fresh fruits and vegetables. That plantain needs to cook. But I put some of my appliances on here that I used to have out in the storage room. So I put them out here, 1, to make space in there for the food, and 2, to get them out here so I use them more often. So now that the crock pot is out here, I've been using it so much more that since I don't have to keep digging it out all the time. And then I just have some mason jars full of just different grains and stuff that I use: farina, couscous, there's some sunflower seeds and things like that. I got some canned tuna that I just bought. Actually, not just bought, I bought those a few weeks ago. Went to the store and bought the canned tuna and these beans that I have to pack up. So just trying to be creative with what I have, so I'm not spending tons of extra money. Now these storage bins down here, this was something that my kids used to keep things into, so now I keep potatoes in there. The same thing with this yellow one. Oops, sorry, my foot got caught. This yellow one down here was a bin for toys. So cleaned it out, and now it holds baking potatoes. So, you know, my daughter's super excited. She bought this at a yard sale. This little thing, it peels. I don't know if I can get it out. It peels your apples. It peels your apples for you. Oh, of course it doesn't want to come out. Come on. Oh, she put this thing on here with it. So she puts her little apple on here, and she can peel the apple because she's always forever asking me to peel apples for her. So now that it's out here, of course this shouldn't be on here. Now that it's out here, she can use it more often. So it used to be out in the storage room, and that's just not accessible. You know, once something is put away like that, you're less likely to touch it. So, you know, think outside of the box. What do you have? You know, it may look silly to you, but it works perfectly for us. And, you know, people keep shelves in their kitchen all the time. So why can't those shelves be former end tables? So from organizing my kitchen pantry, these are all the items that I will now have to throw away. This is why it is important to prep what we eat and eat what we prep. And make sure that we rotate, because all of these cans and these packages, which are all puffy, I'm not even going to open that up, everything's gone bad. So I do not want to eat these things. They're either very far beyond what I'm comfortable eating with the expiration date, like this is 2020 and it's currently 2022. I'm not comfortable with that personally. I'm just kind of breaking out of my comfort zone when it comes to these Best Buy dates, so I'm not going to push myself too far. I'm easing into this process, but all of these, you can see my daughter's helped me at one point labeling she labeled the tops instead of writing the dates on the outside. But this is everything that I have to throw away. So this is a good amount of food. You know, who wants to throw any food away, let alone, you know, a bunch of, you know, stuff that we could have eaten. So this is why it's important not only to stay organized, but to go through what you have. So let's do this together, and I'm going to keep sharing what my trials have been and any issues I come up with. You're going to see any kind of difficulties that I have and my successes and my failures, and I hope that you continue to give me ideas, and you know, we can support each other through these really, really daunting times. And I think that as a community, working together and supporting one another, we can make these really difficult times a little easier to bear. And I look forward to the journey with you. Have a blessed day. My house is super, super small. So this is actually my laundry closet. There's my dryer right there. The top shelf is all products for my husband. He doesn't like a lot of foods, so when he finds things that he likes, he puts them here so the kids know you don't touch anything on Daddy's shelf. So we know that all this food here are things that he's bought that he wants to keep for himself, and things that he, you know, from home. He's from Jamaica, so when he can find things that, you know, kind of reminiscent of home, you know, he likes to enjoy those. So we give him his little space. Now this is completely disorganized. I really got to go through all of this. I ran out of space, and as I was finding sales and things like that, I was stocking up. I have yet to really organize everything. So this goes way back. I mean, there's all sorts of, there's corned beef back in there, coconut milk. I mean, it's just a mismatch of everything. You know, even down here where I was keeping, you know, medical supplies, the heating pads, and a nebulizer back there, I've kind of shoved some food in there along with it. So this all has got to get organized. It stays organized for a little while, but I think recently we've just been real busy and haven't had a chance to maintain the organization, and I've had to declutter a lot of things. Oh, okay, entering my messy storage room. This is just like a little bonus storage room we have in our tiny house. So it's very small. There's my kerosene heater and air purifier. We have shelf space here that we can work with, and we can work with all of this here. So we have a good amount of space. You know, it's a 1,200 foot square house, so it's not super, super big. But this room is great. I wanted to turn it into an office at one point, but that's not happening because we need space for storage. I mean, there's even over there on top of my humidifier, I've got stuff all piled up. Because like I said, I started off organized, but as people pick through things and move things and I buy things, it's just chaos. Chaos, I tell you. I mean, these shelves are pretty deep. They can hold a lot. I would love to get those can organizers, but we're working on a pretty tight budget, so we're going to work with what we got. So that's all that there. There are other cabinets in here as well. I have to go through and see. This room is actually a huge improvement.